This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, I just put a simple presentation together just to kind of give you a little insight in just engaging in conversations about life insurance. And so this is called Keep Life Simple. I mean, the focus is right now is to offer simple term, and you get 100% commission this month. So take advantage of it. So I kind of give you some insight. Like I said, one of the websites that we have access to is lifehappens.org. It's kind of a nonprofit organization to promote life insurance awareness, disability income, and some other stuff to the public. A lot of this information is free, but they do have some information you can take advantage of. So, I mean, when you log in, this is one of the panels that they have on the home screen, right? So, I mean, they get some celebrities involved. Another thing they have is the scholarships. Life insurance can't bring a parent back, but it can make the road afterwards easier for those left behind. This is a situation whose father died at 44 years old without life insurance. And so this is kind of like a GoFundMe. You know, they have to go in and register, and hopefully they can win the scholarship. But that's putting everything or leaving everything to chance. And you don't really want to do that. I mean, you want to plan for your future. Farmers, we do have some calculators to determine how much life insurance you need. If you want, you can use this calculator also. Right? They have a third party. This is third party material. And it goes you step by step, like a couple different questions to kind of figure out how much life insurance they would need in their household. You can either use this. I recommend using farmers information. But again, there's a lot of tools out there for you to use to determine how much people need, because most people, they don't know. When you ask them, so how much life insurance do you think you need, and they'll just a ballpark a round figure. And you got to create some uncomfortableness by saying, well, that number you came up with, number one, how did you come up with it, and is that really enough or is it too much? And so you want them thinking a little bit, and then you say, well, why don't we do a needs analysis calculator just to double check the numbers, and then you can go through your program, go through your needs analysis to assist them in learning more about their personal situation. So this isn't, you don't want to use an average homeowner in the Bay Area. This is specific to them and their needs. That's the focus here. But you do got to ask. You don't ask, you don't get. Always ask. A real simple way is whether you meet someone, have a conversation, and they ask you what you do. You can do things like this, which I'll get to, or maybe you did a sale for auto and home. And so you can break out, you can either create some form like this to use. I can send them to you also. But some of you may have seen something similar to this, and you just want to keep it simple. You just want to ask questions. And so I'll kind of go through this right now. So you ask them, you have a house, you have a car, you have a family. Right? What is the most important thing to you? And most people, they're going to say family. All right. The second thing will be their home. Right. If they don't have a home, then that would be the car. But thirdly or lastly, that would be the car. Right. So knowing that, what have you protected? Right, with insurance? So either you sold them auto and home, so you can either jump into this if it's a new prospect, So knowing that, what have you protected? All right. So if you have a house, you got to have insurance for the mortgage, right? If you have a car, you have to have insurance to drive on the street. Okay. But you just told me your family is the most important thing to you. What have you put in place to protect them? Okay. And that kind of rolls into that life insurance conversation. Or if you sold them the auto and the home, let me back up here. So if you did sell them the auto and the home policy, so you can actually, instead of this particular question of knowing that what have you protected, you can actually just present it. Say, okay, so today we've taken care of your home, right? Making sure that's protected. We've taken care of your vehicle, right? To protect you and your family while you're driving down the road. But we do need to put something in place for your family. Right? So one of those things could be, mortgage protection for the house, or we call it life insurance. And you don't even have to say life insurance at this stage. You can just say, hey, we have a product for you. We can actually submit an application and we can get you approved for $150,000 in about a day. And in most cases, there is no medical exam needed. So if you're interested, we can start the application. It'll take about 30 minutes. And then you want to go through the application. Now I'm going to be upfront with you. In order to do that application in 30 minutes, you got to know how to do a life insurance application. So if, for the new agents, you probably haven't done that yet. I recommend that you go into LifeNet, go into the LifeNet sandbox, the iGo sandbox, and run through the application a couple times where you're comfortable. You know what questions to ask. You know what information is needed. You know what technical questions you want to ask. That way you can move through that application quite quickly. All right. So, and then boom. Usually for the products, it doesn't go to any further underwriting. It can be approved I've seen literally in 20 minutes. Right? If it's at the end of the day, then maybe the next day it could get approved. All right. So, but it's something to offer, and it's real simple, quite straightforward to do it. They don't need a blood and urine test in most cases, and it's a quick issue. All right. There are 5 knockout questions on the simple products. Number 1, you had a DUI in the past 10 years? Number 2, any criminal history? Number 3, have you been prescribed any drugs? Now, this is whether you've taken them or not, right? Because some people, they've been prescribed some mood-changing drugs, maybe to about depression, and they chose not to take them. The fact that it got prescribed is on the drug database, okay? And so whether they've taken them or not, it shows in the background check that they were prescribed that, and so that's kind of a flag for underwriting. If you've had more than one moving violation in the past 3 years, like a major, right? And have you had any major surgery involving any major organs? Right? And what this is about is, having an organ taken out or having surgery on an organ might shorten their life expectancy. So it could be an issue, and it could lead to further underwriting depending on the severity of that situation. Okay. But we can basically offer them a simple term, from $75,000 to $50,000. Issue ages, right? We have a 10-year. They can get it from age 18 to 65. They can set up a 10-year term. The 20-year term is between ages 18 and 60. And in the 30-year term, we can offer from ages 18 to 40. And again, you could possibly get them up to $150,000 term policy with really no underwriting. And again, it's a quick issue. So it's less invasive. It's simple. You want to make it easy for that customer to buy. And so if they do choose to go with you and you submit the application, you got to be competent with that application. I cannot express that enough. Know what questions to ask. Here and there, they might say yes, and now you need more information, and now you're stuck. So be familiar with what questions. When you're going through the application and practicing, hit the yes question periodically to see what additional information it might pull in that you're going to need to get. So be prepared for that. So, but always offer, always ask, always offer. Okay. So good luck with your life insurance sales. I hope you can get some policies on the books. Number 1, it's great for your customers. It's definitely good for your agency. And again, Farmers puts out quite a bit of money to assist you. And if you get this done within the next week, you can join us on the wine trolley. So we hope you can join us. We just get them written, get them on the books. All right. With that, thank you very much. You guys have a great and productive week.